Right, our top focus on the investigations into the Bodh Gaya blast 24 hours since terror struck.
9 blasts rocked the holiest of Buddhist pilgrimage sites. Prayers were held this morning in the holy city for those injured in the attack. The NIA team is in Bodh Gaya today. One person was detained in Kolkata. In fact, right now we're playing out the CCTV footage of one of those bombs going off. This is some footage that we have just accessed. It's a recording from a computer that we're trying to play out for you. This footage is from minutes before the blast. In fact, we also know that a person in Kolkata has been detained. He's suspected to have links to the Indian Mujahideen. The IM clearly under the spotlight as both the Intelligence Bureau and the Delhi Police had warned the Bihar government that the outfit was planning to target the temple. There you can see visuals of an explosion, smoke coming out of one of those shrines. Remember, there were 9 bombings that took place yesterday in Gaya. This is the CCTV recording of one of those blasts.
Right, just a few minutes before the blast took place, if you can see to the top right side of your screens, you can see smoke. We'll try and play that out, that moment out for you once again in a short while from now, just minutes before that blast. You can see now there is confusion amongst the people there who quickly ran away from the point where the blast took place, but now trying to figure out what exactly happened. We're trying to ascertain whether this was the first blast or one of the many blasts in a series of 9 that took place at that shrine. But thankfully, you can see at this particular area there is not too much crowd. This is CCTV footage that has been released by the police, so we can tell you that this is authentic CCTV footage that we are getting you. On the phone line, CNN IBN's Prabhakar Kumar joining us from Bodh Gaya, tracking developments and investigations. Prabhakar, just give us a sense of where things stand at the moment, even as we see the CCTV footage 24 hours since that terror attack.
What actually you are seeing right now on your screen is the scene of the first blast which happened under the Mahabodhi tree. This is the visual of the first blast, and Gaya Police has officially now released the CCTV footage to the media. What they have chosen to show is the scene of the blast where the bombs are actually exploding one by one, but they have so far refused. They're actually exploring the entire footage, and the footage also contains the suspects. So that is one thing they would actually not be releasing to the media. But as far as the blast is concerned, this is the footage of the blast site, actually the blast happening.
And Prabhakar, you're also telling us that the footage also includes some of the suspects. Of course, that portion has not been released by the police. But just looking at these visuals, what do you think was the intensity of the blast, considering that nothing really seemed to change after that? People were still trying to go in and see what really caused that explosion.
See, the initial theory floated by Gaya Police, by the local administration or even by the state administration, was that it was a crude, low-intensity country-made bomb. But that is not the fact, because when we actually went at the blast site and when even the forensic experts reached there, they said that the bomb was powerful. It was not that powerful, but it was not even a crude country-made bomb. So, but they had not used RDX. What they have used so far, as the experts are pointing out, is the use of ammonium nitrate was the material which was actually used in the bomb. Had they used RDX, then the devastation would have been much more.
Right, and over the past few years, in most of the terror attacks that India has seen, ammonium nitrate has been the pick of the explosives that were usually used. There you go. That's a clearer view of the blast taking place. You can see right through that tree. Once again, you will be able to see the visuals being played out. Prabhakar, I'm just going to come to you in a bit, but just to reiterate what you can see on the CCTV visuals there being released by the police. So this is an official version being released by the police, and one of the CCTV cameras which were positioned at a vantage point taking that view. It gives you a sense of what really happened there, and as Prabhakar was also pointing out, it appears to be low intensity, but then again we should wait for experts to give a sense of what that might be about, because the explosives and the whatever was recovered by the NIA and the bomb squad would have been sent to the forensic laboratory as well. As we play out those visuals, let's also bring in Arunima, who's with us on the phone line from here in New Delhi, tracking the NIA investigations as well. Arunima, just to give us a sense of the investigations as far as the explosives used is concerned, because we're seeing that explosion to the naked eye, to to the layman, it would appear to be low intensity, and that's something that investigators would also be looking at, wouldn't they? Because the intensity of the bomb would also help them establish or point fingers at possible networks.
Well, that's right. If the bomb, the way the bomb has been made, points to a particular footprint, so to say, then it's easier for the investigators to say, well, this was the kind of bomb that was used in Blast A or Blast B, which was carried out by X or Y organization, and therefore there is some similarity. But in this case, from what we hear from the ground, the way small cylinders were used, packed with explosive, that's definitely a first. In the recent past, we have not heard any explosion anywhere in the country where cylinders were used, they were emptied of the liquid petroleum gas and then filled with explosives. What is the nature of that explosives? Several versions doing the rounds, from ammonium nitrate right down to RDX, but right now investigating agencies are not confirming anything, and rightly so, because the first thing to do is for the forensic team to carry out its analysis. Only once the forensic report comes will we be able to say for sure as to what was the nature of that explosive. And investigators on the ground tell us that once that forensic report comes, then their job is easier, because if it's ammonium nitrate, that's something that the Indian Mujahideen has used in the past, but prima facie, the way this bomb has been assembled, the timing of the bomb going off at a time when not many people were expected, so casualty figures had to be low. Also cylinders, as I said, is the first time. IM is known to use either tiffin boxes or aluminium boat shaped containers, none of that used in this case. So as of this moment, the investigators are not second guessing anything, not taking any names, but yes, they are awaiting that forensic analysis. Once that comes, their main job will begin.
Right, forensic reports are expected any time now. In fact, we'd like to point out that these visuals that you're playing on your screens are of the second explosion that reportedly took place in Bodh Gaya. The first one was near that Bodhi tree that we played out. These are the second, these are visuals of the second blast inside the premises of the temple that we are playing out. Prabhakar, if you could exactly point out for us where was the second, where did the second blast took place, and how crucial is this complex?
All the first four blasts happened inside the premises of Mahabodhi temple. The first blast was right under the Mahabodhi tree, and the second blast was around 100 meters away from that particular spot where people had also gathered. But thankfully, at that time of the blast, nobody was there, so nobody actually was injured. The only injury happened under the Mahabodhi tree where the first blast happened.
Right, and what we are looking at now is another part of the temple where people are coming inside, climbing stairs, and soon after the blast was reported, you could see people running up the stairs, clearly not understanding what exactly had happened because there was a loud noise. But as Prabhakar was pointing out, the only injury took place near the Mahabodhi tree where one of the bombs had gone off. But Prabhakar, which part exactly are we looking at? I'm not sure if you can see the visuals that we are seeing at the moment, but what we can see are stairs and a big symbol in the middle of a courtyard, really.
Yeah, that is where the third blast has happened. That is a Sita temple, which is situated inside the Mahabodhi temple. So it's a small temple around 200 meters away, because as I told you, the Mahabodhi temple complex is a huge complex. It's around 10 acres of the complex, and there are two small temples as well situated inside the same complex. So the third blast happened near the Sita temple, and that is the visual you are seeing right now on the screen. Also to point out that when you're talking to our sources, they have confirmed to us that they have informed us that around 3 suspects, they have zeroed down on 3 suspects by the help of CCTV footage, and teams have been filled out to nab them, to try and nab them.
All right, Prabhakar getting us that crucial piece of information that the police have been able to identify 3 suspects from the CCTV footage. Of course, those particular clippings have not been released to the media. The police have revealed CCTV footage of 2 of the blast sites. In fact, this is another piece of footage that we are seeing on our screens. In the first footage, you could easily see the explosion going off near the Bodhi tree. The second one, the second footage that we saw is of the third explosion, where people are running away from the blast site. Of course, Arunima also getting us the latest on investigations, how the NIA is not really naming anyone till now, and they're waiting for a detailed forensic report before putting out anything before the media. But Arunima, we also know that that a person has been detained in Kolkata and a possible IM link is being explored at this point?
I in fact put that question to a very senior officer who's investigating this particular case, and he said that, you know, overall there is an Indian Mujahideen FIR that the NIA is probing, but this detention is not by NIA per se. It is a joint action by the state police, and they're not ruling out or nor are they saying that this man who has been detained has been involved. What is happening right now is every person who has some kind of a record related to any terror activity or any illegal activity, he is being questioned at the moment, and this detention too could be part of that. How the investigators are proceeding is that they're trying to see who are the people around the Mahabodhi temple whose activities could have been suspicious in or around the temple after the blast or before the blast, and they're trying to piece together the entire jigsaw puzzle. After the forensic report comes in, they would want to ask the local market shopkeepers there if anybody had come in looking for a bag, or if ammonium nitrate is proved, then how it was procured. So that's the line they're taking. But one thing, Simi and Arun, the Home Ministry official seems to suggest that this is one case where one should thank the Intelligence Bureau as well as the Bihar government, IB for putting out a timely alert, and Bihar police for carrying out that mock drill at the temple premises, because when that mock drill was carried out, we are told the Bihar police found that the CCTV cameras were not working, the personnel who were supposed to man the metal detectors were not well trained. This happened on the 2nd of July, just 3 or 4 days before that blast, and after that meeting there were some steps taken to ensure that the CCTV cameras worked, that there was somebody to man the CCTV visuals, and the impact of that we can see for now. Police at least has some leads through those CCTV cameras. So this looks like at least one case where the policemen and the central agencies have coordinated, and perhaps their efforts have resulted in very low injuries and absolutely no casualties.
Right. Well, that needs to be also pointed out at this point. May not have been able to prevent the overall attack, but at least the infrastructure seems to be in place so that investigations are not delayed, because Prabhakar was also pointing out to us that on the basis of the CCTV visuals, they've also identified a few suspects. Prabhakar, is that what we are now being made to understand, that while these visuals can be seen by us, but there are other crucial visuals that the police is withholding, which perhaps can be used as evidence at a later stage, which has some crucial inputs that the investigations will now be based on from this point in time? Is that something that the police is telling you, or the sources are telling you?
Yeah, precisely. The visuals police has released is the visual at the time of the blast. But the evidences they are getting, the leads they are getting, is captured in the visual, which was in the of last 24 hours before the blast. So that is the visual they have withheld. As I told you, the 3 separate teams have been formed. One team is dedicated to explore the visuals and find out the details from that. The other team is working on the mobile surveillance thing. So the team which was working on the CCTV footage, they have been able to zero down on 3 suspects as we were informed of the record, and the teams have been dispatched to nab them.
Right, teams have been dispatched to nab those 3 suspects who have been identified by looking at that CCTV footage. In fact, that particular clipping is not available to us. Prabhakar, also, so infrastructure was taken care of, but what about additional security? What about checks into the temple, considering the fact that the IB had warned the Bihar government about a possible strike on this temple, and it is a huge tourist attraction apart from being of considerable religious significance for this particular community?
See, we all understand, and even the state administration, the local administration here conceived that there was a security lapse. Had the security lapse not been there, this blast wouldn't have happened. The security here, if you go by standard, security here is adequate throughout the year. They have a metal detector gate. There is a physical frisking before you are actually allowed to enter. But that security is not good enough, and now they have realized this fact. And we were informed that from today onward, the security would be increased manyfold. But as we all know, the damage has already been done. Bodhgaya being an international tourist destination, it attracts Buddhist pilgrims from across the globe. Now, the worst fear is that that traffic of pilgrimage, the traffic of tourists would be severely, badly hit.
Right, the perpetrators would have ensured that striking a particular place which would have international ramifications, international significance, so as to get maximum mileage out of that. Prabhakar Kumar and Arunima, just stay on with us because this is the top story that we're tracking, of course, through those visuals. We're going to try and piece together what happened, what is happening, and get you the very latest.
And we'll continue.